This lesson might seem a little bit strange to all of you, but I promise you, it's actually one of the most foundational lessons we could possibly teach you. If there's anything you'll learn this year for sure, it's this one, because we're teaching it to you on the second day of school, and you'll use it for the rest of your musical career. Our body position is incredibly important when it comes to playing an instrument. The sooner we can learn proper body position, the better we'll be at our instruments as soon as we play them. It's partly why the chair is so important. Again, the chair must have a firm, stable bottom to it. This section where you sit on it shouldn't have a lot of give or a whole lot of squishiness. It's okay if there's a little bit of cushion on the chair, but it shouldn't be super squishy. The reason for what we're doing has to do with how the instruments are played. We put air through the instruments. And in order to put air through the instruments, we need to most efficiently fill our bodies with air. And that means keeping our upper bodies in a position to be able to fill up as much as possible. The best position for this is actually standing. Standing up nice and tall actually arranges our upper body to fill up all the way with air. And when we stand up naturally and center our weight over our feet the way that we should, our back just kind of naturally aligns the way it should. Most people don't stand like this. Unfortunately, this is how most of us sit. We don't realize it. But this is not how we stand. It's actually very uncomfortable. If you just kind of stand the way you're supposed to, everything aligns. So the trick is to make our upper body look like this when we're sitting down. So the first trick to this is about where we sit on the chair. The first trick is to make sure that we get off of the back of the chair. And that's why it's all right to do this with a stool instead of a chair. Otherwise, the back of the chair itself doesn't really matter because we're not going to use it. We're going to sit on the front 40% of the chair, maybe 50%. Maybe you could be halfway back here, but really you want to be just a little bit more than halfway. So you want to be on about the front 40% of the chair. You don't want to be on the front 10%. That's a little too unstable. You'll be falling over at that point. So 40% of the chair you're going to use. The rest of it, you're actually not. This is going to stay open back here. This does a couple of things. This creates a tiny bit of instability for us. Okay? That instability is important. We'll come back to that in a moment. We want that tiny bit of instability. But most importantly, it gets us off the back of the chair. Remember what I said about how the fact that we don't stand looking like this? Look what happens when I lean back in the chair. Same position. My arms might be in a weird place, but my upper body is all kind of folded. And that's what we don't want, is that folded upper body. So we have to be off the back of the chair to help us unfold our upper body. Now let's talk about the instability that we were talking about before. The way we're going to fix the instability is we're going to make sure that both our feet are firmly planted, firm on the ground, flat on the ground. Okay? And then all you have to do to get rid of a little bit of instability is to just give a little tiny push with your feet, and then you're kind of locked in a position between your feet and your hindies that are sitting on the front of the chair like this. So between your feet and your hindies, which are just kind of on the front of the chair like this, you should be able to be nice and stable. If you cross your legs like this, you lose a little bit of that stability. You want it back. We created instability just so we could create the stability like this. If you tuck your feet under the chair, it's kind of the same too. And then you're kind of rocking a little bit. Also, if you hook your feet under here, now your legs are tense, trying to hold you in place. We want to get rid of that tension. So we're going to put our feet flat in front of us like this, and then just ever so slightly push down on those, and that will help lock you to the front of the chair on your hindies. Now, I can do that, but watch this. Yep, I can still hunch over and fold my body up. That's bad. I can still lean back and fold my body up. That's bad. So my feet alone and my hiney alone is not going to be enough to fix this upper body position that we're talking about. We need this to be fixed now. This gets us ready. Okay? So we've got our feet flat, we've got our hindies on the front of the chair. Now all we have to do is fix the upper body. There's two tricks you can do this. Okay? The first trick is to simply think of getting as tall as you can. Okay? You've got your feet flat, you've got your hindies on the humps. Now all you need to do is to get as tall as you can. Don't leave the chair, but just get as tall as you can. Notice that I don't lift my chin up. That actually doesn't make us taller. Okay? My face is still fairly neutral forward, but I am thinking of trying to get my top of my head to the ceiling as quickly as possible. Okay? So that automatically straightens me out. That's one way of thinking about it. And you'll feel it in these back muscles right here. That's kind of what we want, is you feel the stretch in the back muscles. And most of us are not used to sitting this way. So it's going to feel odd at once. There's a second trick you can think of. In order for you to unfold your body, you can think of right where the back muscles are that I was pointing. Think of these back muscles right here. Try to push them towards your belly button as far as you can. Push them right towards your belly button like this. Okay? I think that push is really, really hard. I don't like that one so much, but it does work. Notice I immediately got super duper tall. Here's what doesn't make you tall. Shoulders. Shoulders have nothing to do with tallness. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. So again, our feet are going to be locked flat to the floor while we're sitting on the very front of the chair, front 40%. And then we're going to think of getting really tall, or think of pushing our back muscles towards our belly button. Okay? And then you just kind of naturally let your arms either hang in your lap or to your side. This is the good seating position that we need to learn to be successful in band. And again, for many of us, this will feel uncomfortable at first. All I'm going to ask for today is 30 seconds. Nice and tall. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Or you can do Mississippis. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. However you want to think of your seconds. That's all you have to give us today. If you can give us that today, then you're in pretty good shape. By the end of August, you'll probably be able to do it for a full minute. By the end of September, 3 minutes. And then eventually, it won't feel that bad at all. It'll just feel kind of natural to sit up nice and tall. You'll know that because that's just what we do in band, because that's how we play our instruments well. Got it? So that's your task for today. You're going to have to probably experiment a little bit to figure out where to set up your phone or your computer or your camera to film this. And just like me, you'll probably get a little bit of the video of you walking back and forth between the camera. That's okay. You're going to go ahead and send us that video today. That's your task for today. Show us that you can do this sitting position, nice and tall, 30 seconds, out loud. Count out loud. You can do it. We believe in you. Hit it, Generals.